Nvidia is officially a software company. All of the handhelds for Windows are getting fixed, and mid-tier GPUs, the affordable stuff, on its way. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your bright host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news that I can find on the internet this Friday, May 5th, 2023, while you enjoy your breakfast. And we're going to start off today asking the question, how fast can you build a PC? Kyler, how quick can you go?
43 seconds.
Fortnite is what he just said, but it turns out that if you're participating in a Newegg PC building event over in Taiwan, you might find out that the fastest person over there completed a PC build in just 37 minutes where it was finally operable. So it got narrowed down to a contestant pool of 5 people at the finalists, with the slowest person being just shy of an hour and the fastest person being 37 minutes. I think that I could probably do it easily in about 45 minutes. I might be able to compete for the 37-minute title. The competitive side of me feels like that's not actually all that fast, and maybe we need to have like a showdown at LTX to see, like, can tech YouTubers or PC building YouTubers actually get this done faster than that? Because 37 minutes doesn't seem terribly fast. I don't know. Let me know what you think. What's the fastest you could build a PC in? Flex with your big, like, fish stories down below. I once built a PC in the snow, walking backwards, uphill, both ways in 6 seconds. But you know what's faster than building a PC? Today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Now, thankfully, I've never been in a car accident, but I know friends and family members who have, and I have this clear memory as a child of being in a courtroom with my dad when he was hit by a distracted driver, and the thought of having to go through all of that seems overwhelming. But not with Morgan & Morgan. They've modernized the injury law process so you can submit a claim and have it reviewed by a lawyer without ever having to leave the couch. You can sign documents, upload pictures, share medical records, and doctor bills all from your phone. You can even text your attorney and case manager without ever having to go to an office. If you're injured and don't know where to start with Morgan & Morgan, it's so easy. More than 3 million people have trusted Morgan & Morgan when they were injured in an accident. And if you're ever in an accident, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. You can submit a claim in 8 clicks or less, and you have America's largest injury law firm fighting for you. You can get started at forthepeople.com/UFD or dial #law. That's #529 from your cell phone. Big thanks again to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's video. It turns out that one of the reasons Nvidia might not be very fast when it comes to building GPUs is, according to one of their executive people, they're not a graphics card company, they are a software company, with the head of enterprise computing saying, at Nvidia, we spend 20% of our time on the hardware and 80% of our time on the software. We are continually working on algorithms to understand what our hardware can and cannot do. AI is a full stack problem. This is not necessarily a shocker to anybody who's been paying attention to Nvidia's GTC keynotes. Essentially, they talk about all of the software they're creating: RTX Remix, RTX Broadcast, the Omniverse situation, all of the tools that they've created in quantum realm, in the Omniverse realm, for them to actually solve these problems in the AI sector. They are constantly developing a lot of software rather than the actual hardware to make it. They sell the hardware, but they do essentially view themselves as a full stack solution, which is one of the reasons why they probably wanted ARM, so that they could sell you the whole thing. They make the software, the CPU, and the GPU, and you can only buy from Nvidia for now and forever, which is exactly where I expect your cash to go with today's UFD Deals. I was going to call Reece a sponsor, but he's not.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals out on the internet. I'm Reece, your resident deal guy from the Southern Hemisphere, and you know what that means. You guys in the North. I'm gonna fight with you guys because you get deals like this and I don't. Starting off with the Corsair HS60 haptic gaming headset, which you can currently pick up for only $54.99 with the included promo code, making a total of $75. And then next up, we have this 1TB Sabrent Rocket Q4 NVMe M.2 SSD with the heatsink, going for only $68.74, bringing it to a whole 69% off. Nice. And then last but definitely not least, we have the AMD Ryzen 9 7900X. This behemoth 12-core AM5 socket CPU running at 4.7 GHz is going for only $413.99 with the promo code, making it $135 off. And don't forget, it also includes Star Wars Jedi Survivor, so have fun. And that's it. Those are the deals for today. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, I'm gonna hand you off back to Brett for the rest of hot news. Cheers. And also, again, I'm gonna fight you. That was a threat with love.
Thanks, Reece, but again, I'm gonna talk about the bad deal that I consider the Pixel Fold to be. It's too much money for my blood, but it's getting officially revealed yesterday in the May the Fold Be With You short, where they show off the Pixel Fold. It looks fine. We've already seen it. It's gonna be releasing sometime soon. Now we know that it's really real. And what also is really real is the ability for you to now fine-tunedly control your handheld gaming device in Windows. This is one of the biggest complaints that comes to handheld gaming on Windows, is that there's not all of the fine control that Valve presents to you in SteamOS 3.0. You can't easily control things like your TDP, your refresh rate, all from a simplified menu like Valve brings you. But it turns out that Project SBC is here to actually fix that for us on Windows. So this was actually sent over to ETA Prime, who does a lot of videos on handhelds and mobile chips, and they were able to check out the fact that this is a software that is there for power management, fan control. You can adjust the TDP, max clock rates for the APU, GPU, limit frame rate, essentially almost everything that you can do on the SteamOS, but all from one simple menu setup, as you can see right here. You can have application types, you can have default profiles, you can set it per game profiles in order to get all of that set up. And currently it is in beta and it's supported for a lot of the various handhelds out there. It is compatible with the Steam Deck, not fully supported. No word on the ROG Ally, which is supposed to be announced in less than a week on May 11th at the official event, which we're going to be live streaming here on the UFD Tech channel in case you're interested. But there is a repository over on GitHub for you to check out. You cannot download it as of right now. You have to contact the developer for beta access, but this is something that's desperately needed. I like to see that Project SBC is making this. This is going to make the entire gaming on Windows situation a lot easier. But keep your eyes open for the handheld review of the iNeo 2 that's going to go live this weekend here on UFD Tech. But speaking of live things, when it comes to computer parts, we're going to talk about some smugglers in Hong Kong trying to bring some PC parts into China. This has been something that we've covered a lot in shorts. You got SSD Scooter, you got CPU Mama, you got a man who taped a ton of CPUs to his belly and walked weird because of it. But this one is by far the most organic of the bunch, because it turns out they were trying to smuggle Quadro cards in with live lobsters. Now, the thing that's really confusing is that the Quadro cards are only K2200s based on the Kepler architecture. These are 9 years old. They're not very expensive. They essentially perform on par with the 750 Ti. And according to Hong Kong Customs, all of this was valued at around $76,000, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense based on the hardware. We found this out with the SSD Scooter situation. They only had 84 SSDs, and the Hong Kong Customs said that it was worth like over $100,000, which doesn't make like that, though that would be ridiculous. This is what they're officially quoting, but because individuals can flip things in China for profit, you see a lot of this smuggling stuff happening. They might be overinflating their numbers. Maybe they get a little kickback if they capture a whole lot of excess value that's not making it through the official customs channel. But lobsters, GPUs, who would have thought of a better pairing? I know one. It's AMD and Nvidia, because that's exactly what Gigabyte's giving us with the EEC filings when it comes to the mid-tier GPUs that we're expecting to launch later this month. So we're getting the RX 7600 and the RTX 4060 Ti. The EEC filings show that Gigabyte's getting ready. They're preparing for it. They only have 2 different models of the 7600, which kind of indicates to you that it's not going to be a high priority. Only 8 gigabytes of VRAM on that, which isn't necessarily a problem on a card that's going to target 1440p, 60 FPS, medium settings, maybe 1080p, ultra settings. You don't need as much VRAM on that sector. As long as they're not cutting down the VRAM speed like Nvidia is, I could be a little bit okay with that. You can see the sheer amount of Nvidia cards that Gigabyte's propagating with the 4060 Ti launch. Now, as far as dates, the 7600 is expected to be announced and launched on May 25th, which is a Thursday, so in less than 3 weeks. And then we're expecting that the 4060 Ti might be announced at the Computex keynote on May 30th by Jensen there. This is going to roughly launch around the same time. I'm going to be traveling to Taiwan for Computex, so I won't be able to get my hands on cards as soon as I want, but I will get my hands on Reece, hopefully, because he's supposed to be going to Computex with us. Can't wait to touch him. That was weird. But you won't have to deal with my weirdness again until Monday for more of the hottest tech news. Actually, we have videos coming out this weekend, so watch those too. We'll see you then.